Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank the witnesses for their presence here today. Dr. Huerta, how does the percentage of private school students who are English language learners compare to the percentage of public school students?
So this is a number that varies again state by state, but we know that private schools accept substantially fewer students with English language needs, as well as students with special education needs. On the latter, private schools are not required to provide special education to their students. So that's very important to consider. So even though there are some special ed vouchers that exist in several states, this voucher schools that accept these students are not in any way compelled or held accountable to actually provide the same special ed quality services that would have otherwise been provided in a public school.
Thank you. On that point, Representative Bryant, now private schools participating in North Carolina's school voucher, school choice program under law are able to exclude students with disabilities and special needs, correct?
That's correct.
And under North Carolina law, private schools that are receiving taxpayer dollars are able to exclude students with limited English proficiency, is that correct?
Yes.
And under North Carolina law, private schools that are receiving taxpayer dollars are able to exclude students with certain religious backgrounds, is that correct?
There's no, yes, they have their own standard requirements. Of course, they don't get money for any of those things either.
Right, but they're able to exclude, even if they're receiving taxpayer dollars related to other students participating in the voucher program, they can make the exclusionary decisions based on religion, correct?
Yes, I mean, they're an existing private school, so they have their own admission standards.
Okay, I'm not even quite sure how it's constitutional, but that's a question for another day. Public schools are required to educate all students, correct, regardless of religious background, regardless of special needs, regardless of their English language learner status, correct?
Yes, and they get a lot of extra money to do so.
Okay, can you explain to me why it's fair for the taxpayers of North Carolina to essentially fund private school vouchers with schools that can engage in these discriminatory practices that you just acknowledged exist under law?
Well, fundamentally, it's the parents exercising a right, which we've been doing since we've been America. You know, we give out college grants to folks. They can exercise those at private religious universities. You can go to, you know, a Jewish college, a Christian college, whatever kind of college you want to go to, and get public dollars for that. It's a parent, or in that case, a student, making a choice.
So you don't have a problem with taxpayer dollars being used in this fashion where private schools are able to essentially say, no, you're an English language learner, we're not going to accept you, even if you receive the voucher. No, you are a special needs student with disabilities, we're not going to accept you. You don't have an issue with that?
No, I mean, again, they don't get money for those things. We give extra money for most of those things, and the standard traditional school gets that money. In these cases, they don't. Now, there are schools that do take special need kids and don't have requirements. That's the marketplace of the private schools.
So given the exclusionary nature that is, as you've acknowledged, North Carolina law, some of these students who are ELL individuals or special needs students actually don't have choice, correct?
Well, it depends. I think there are schools that do provide that. So, I mean, it's a matter of, I mean, I'd love for more kids to have choices.
Right. Mr. Robinson, now, is the objective of many of these programs that you've supported to provide low-income students with the broadest range of options, is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, the majority of programs throughout the country that participate in private school sort of voucher initiatives, majority of states, I should say, they don't cover the full cost of tuition, correct?
Milwaukee does not cover full cost of tuition. It's a social justice model. When the school accepts the $7,200, and it varies a little more for high school, when they accept the money, they cannot charge tuition beyond that. So they attend a school that's $20,000, they accept the $7,200, the rest is gone, social justice driven.
That was Milwaukee. The majority of private school voucher programs throughout the country don't cover the full cost of tuition, correct?
No, it depends on where you are. So let's look at Georgia, where they have a special needs scholarship. It can go as high as $19,000 depending upon what needs you have. So the laws are specific and change throughout the state. North Carolina is one example, but there are others. And it is a myth that there are kids in voucher programs and others that are ELL students in Washington, D.C., the Opportunity Scholarship Program. I went to an event where you had parents, many of them, their children, or their first, this English is their second language for children moving forward. They're on the programs in this city, and so I would recommend lawmakers.
My time has expired, but in Washington, D.C., there are 53 programs participating in the school voucher initiative. The majority of students only attend 8. That's not really school choice. I yield back.
Gentleman's time has
Well, their
indeed
attendance still go
expired.
friends. That's big
Now I'd like
choice.
to recognize